Hi, my name is Dominique Evans-Bai. Welcome to my GIS and Remote Sensing class. My students have recently been named as national finalists in the Department of Education's CTE Mission CubeSat Challenge. Now we're getting equipment and funding to carry out our mission. My students proposed to get an infrared sensor to map and analyze homeless encampments within a high fire risk area. This information will be shared with the Los Angeles City Fire Department so they could pre-plan and better affect rescue operations in the event of a wildfire or other natural disaster. Right now, my students are in breakout rooms coming up with a study area, a Plan B. It's our original study area. We found out we cannot fly a drone, so the study area that they're looking at now, we're going to make sure that we can fly a drone to carry our CubeSat to collect our data. Our agenda for the day is choose one or more engineering component as a role for the project, and there's also a shopping component that they can help me out with. And then I'll bring them back to revise their hypothesis for the project. So this is about the CTE Mission CubeSat. Here we are listed as finalists. And let's go check in with them now. I'm just going to join the breakout rooms. Hello, breakout room 2. How'd you guys do? Do you have a spokesperson yet?
Miss Evans?
Yes.
For the second area, I don't know where to where to go, but I have the map ready. That's what you need.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have you guys all come back to the main room, and I'm gonna have you guys take turns. You're gonna present your map, and you're going to kind of give a pitch as to what area you want to focus on and why. Okay. So come on out of the room, and I'll go get the others. Hello, breakout room 3. How are you guys doing? Anybody here? Who's your spokesperson? Okay, I need you guys to come back to the main room and have your maps ready to share, please. Let's see, make sure. So Carlo, Carmela, Matthew, Rita. Okay. One more room to join. Hello, room 4. How'd it go? Vahe, Roy. Who's in this room?
Yeah, hello.
Okay, so did you guys share? Did you discuss your maps?
Not quite, no.
Okay, what did you do in the room while I was gone?
I was just kind of like speculating on my map if there's anything else I could add in any other layers, but I couldn't quite find any.
Okay. Yeah, because Roy, remember I said your map was missing some elements and this was the time to get some help with that?
I'm fixing it.
Okay. All right, well, why don't you guys come back to the main room and we can share in the main room.
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay, so before we share, let us just revisit one thing here. Okay. Oh. So I'm going to put in the chat the link to the sign up where you guys chose a role to do an engineering component of the project. And not everybody signed up for an engineering component, but most things are taken. I do have one spot left for X in the box for a flight station. So if at this point there's been a couple of class periods and nobody else has signed up to build the X in the box, so if you wanted to do an extra engineering component, that is open. You are welcome to sign up for that. If for some reason that you've been shying away from an engineering component to the project, there is another role available that would really help us out. So I need to buy the sensor that we've identified we needed for the project, the FLIR sensor. The thing is, when I went onto the FLIR site, we said we wanted the View Pro R. That's what you guys chose. The question is here, there's all these different models and product variations. If you do the drop down, you can see there's huge variation in some of the parameters of it, with the field of view, the hertz, the millimeters for the lens, and it changes the price. So if you didn't want to do an engineering component, you could sign up for a shopping component. And I put this in the classroom, and I put in the product documents. So you do have a choice. You can work on an engineering component, or you can work on shopping. And if you work on shopping, I want you to give me your recommendation in the claim evidence reasoning format, and I want you to tell me which product variation you chose and why. And that, the full write-up on that is in Google Classroom with the full instructions about that. Okay, I'll show this message again. Okay, and then the other thing that we need to buy is a balloon. Because remember, our Hansen Dam study area is in a FAA restricted zone. We cannot fly a drone there for safety reasons. We would never want to fly a drone in an area that's within 5 miles of an airport. And this area at Hansen Dam, where the homeless are and the high fire area, that is too close to our airport. So FAA considers that controlled airspace and will not let us fly there. So we have another option, a weather balloon. Of course, we wouldn't let it go. We would hold it on a tether, on a rope, just like you hold your balloons at Disneyland. And we wouldn't let that go, but we could use this weather balloon to carry our payload. That's what it's designed to do. So this one's quite expensive, but then they have weather meteorological balloons that are very affordable. I mean, look, huge difference in price. So, if you want to help out with the shopping, I would need you to evaluate these balloons for the payload that we will be carrying. So, kind of estimate the weight of our CubeSat, estimate the weight, and find the right balloon to do the job. Okay, so any questions on the roles? Any questions on the new shopping role? Oh, and the other thing is the UAS, because with the site that you are investigating now, the site that you are choosing to fly a drone at, I'll need to buy that drone. But the drone will have to be able to carry the FLIR payload, and it needs to be interchangeable, because the FLIR is going to be on a balloon, and then we can put it on the UAS. So find a drone that will you can put a camera on, you can take a camera off, and police drones are a good place to start. Okay, so we'll get back to that. Right now I want to see where you're at with your mapping. Okay, so any volunteers who wants to share what they've got? Matthew? Oh no, I wasn't sharing my screen, was I? Okay, Matthew, go for it. Go ahead and share your screen. Let's see where you're at.
Miss Evans, I was raising my hand because I tried to change my password on my ArcGIS account, but it wouldn't let me.
Okay.
So, and it said it sent the recovery to my email, but which email would that go to?
Well, that would be the email, the personal email that you used to sign up for the ArcGIS account. I can reset your password. Do you want me to reset your password?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I can do that. Okay, so who's ready to share their screen to show me their map for their study area? Just unmute, let me know. Okay, here we go, resetting your password now.
Evans, I had a spot in place, but because I didn't have my account, I couldn't make a map, so I could just show you where I wanted to do it.
Okay, so I've just reset your password.
Miss Evans?
Yes.
I have a couple general areas, but I don't know if there's like a homeless population there.
No, we don't know right now, but yeah, let's see it. Go ahead and show us.
Okay. Alright, so can you see my screen?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I was gonna say the Falls Canyon area. There's a trail there that we can also go to.
Okay.
And like this fire density map shows that there's a good amount of fire risk potential there.
Okay.
And over here, I was gonna say towards Tahunga Canyon over here. Because I have family that lives in this area, and I've driven there a lot, and I've seen like the hills are already like burnt actually from. So I think these two areas are good.
Okay, good. And can you zoom back out a little bit so we can... Okay, so talk to us about the layers that you've got right there. So the blue circle is what?
Just the buffer zone. That was the 15-mile radius that you said around Clark.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to maintain in that area.
Okay.
So that we were not too far.
Good, good, good. And the yellow layers with the grid pattern, tell us what that is.
That just, I think it was FFA, flight restrictions, so it's the controlled airspace that we can't fly.
Okay.
I was going to say we go to the San Fernando area, but that's fully covered.
Yeah.
So we can't. And just these red patches everywhere. It's this layer over here. It's the California fire perimeters. These three layers. So the darker red it is, that's the more risk of fire.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I think you're on the right track. So why don't you just put map notes, put pins in the areas that you think would be good to investigate,
Okay.
and label those. Yeah, Matthew.
Miss Evans, after that, I'm just gonna share mine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm done. You can just do it.
Okay, so stop your share, and then Matthew's going to share.
So I don't have the layers set up, but I thought that we did our if we did our drone mapping centered around San Rafael Hills, then we would be able to cover Tahunga, Pasadena, and Glendale. And I live around like this area of Glendale between Burbank and Glendale, and I know that there's a large increasing homeless population here, and also that these mountains, they caught fire recently as well. So there's a high fire risk here, and also there's a homeless population too.
Okay, Matthew, if you sign in, go ahead and sign in to your account. Did you get your password recovered?
Did you send it to me?
Yeah, you know what I think the problem is? I think you don't have a personal email. I think you have the school email, which you can't get outside emails from. So we'll have to do that. We'll do it later. So for now, just go to Modify Map.
Check with me, map.
No, this is fine. Oh, I guess. No, so now you've got the add button. So add in your FAA UAS controlled airspace. Because that's the most important thing. You know, for safety's sake, we cannot fly in and around airports. So you've got Bob Hope Airport, you've got Van Nuys Airport. So those are the areas that we really have to watch out for. That you know, we're not flying a drone anywhere near that. So what you're proposing looks like it might just be
some
outside.
Of the region between Glendale and Burbank would be cut off, so we would still have access to Tahunga and also Pasadena and Glendale.
Right. So the San Rafael Hills you're talking about. Okay. Now, La Cañada, Flint Ridge. Think of the socioeconomic status of that area. Do you think they're going to have a lot of homeless people?
No, I don't.
No.
Which is also why I wanted to have like Glendale and Pasadena as well.
Yeah.
So I was originally thinking like putting it like in the center of Tahunga, but then I realized that that would be in a high like socioeconomic status area, so it would be less likely to get results, despite the high fire risk.
Okay, so you're on the right track. Same thing, just finish adding in a few layers and do our buffer to find out, you know, our drive time. You know, we want to make it accessible, and the areas that you're talking about are definitely accessible, but if you just buffer it in so we know the edges of our study area, that would be good. Yeah. All right, cool. So keep working on that, and let's check in with more people. So stop your sharing.
So the buffer is centered on Clark, right?
Yeah, so just put a pin on Clark and then buffer 15 miles. I think you guys decided was a good range. 15 miles from Clark.
Thank you.
Sure, thank you. All right, stop the share. Now, who else wants to show me what they've got? Somebody else have a good spot? Okay, well, you guys are still deciding, still working on it. Let's go back to Vahe. Vahe, can you share your screen real fast and show us the spot that you chose last time?
Okay, yeah. Give me a minute.
And for those of you who haven't finished your maps, or if I told you you need some other layers in your map, are you seeing how this is done now? You see that we need the FAA controlled airspace, we need a pin on Clark, we need a buffer, you need some data on fires at a minimum. And then Vahe also found the Los Angeles open spaces is a good layer to have.
Okay. Do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Stetson Ranch Equestrian Park. So I'm just gonna
So it's definitely within fire perimeters. And where's okay, and it's outside of the FAA controlled airspace.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems to meet the criteria, and also the area where it is in Silmar. I know there's a lot of homeless people there. I used to live there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
So I think you're onto something. Okay, stop to share, and I'm gonna share my screen and show you what I found over the weekend. Let me get this down here. So I investigated a little bit about Stetson Ranch, because before we go there to actually carry out our mission, I want to make sure it's safe. So I checked it out. I took a friend, I took my puppy, and I mapped the area. And so I put in, and I put this in Google Classroom. I put a link to this. I went there and I did a little hike and I took some photographs. And I didn't get really close, but I wasn't sure if this was evidence of a homeless camp. I don't know. Let me see what else. There's my puppy. But I took a bunch of photos, and I was thinking that some of you have done pretty well with the Drone to Map software. So I've got these. You guys can do my puppy again. 3D mosaic, if you like the area. And one thing I noticed about this, do you notice any potential hazards here? Think about what we're doing. Flying a drone, or carrying a balloon. Any issues that you can see?
Power line.
Power lines, yeah. So we definitely do not want to fly a drone anywhere near power lines. But this is a huge area. I mean, we don't have to go near the power lines. We won't go near the power lines when we're flying a drone. But it was beautiful. And up in the hills, I won't go through them all, but I did see evidence of fire. There was definitely spots that had been burned out, like this bush here is charred. So this is definitely a high fire area. It had recently burned a couple years ago. And from what I'm understanding, when a friend of mine that lives down there went with me, and she was saying that the fire department is really making a concerted effort to keep the homeless people out of these high fire risk areas. But I did see a lot of homeless people down towards the street, down around the freeway. So the fire department seems to be keeping them out of the hills as best as they can. But we do have a lot, like here, this is actually a blown transformer. So it had come off those power lines. And that's the kind of thing that starts fires. Okay. So if we do this area, I say we don't go up in the hills, we stay down below, away from the power lines and closer. See this this area here? This is a residential area that all burned in the car fire, I believe. So I think we stay down at lower elevations where it's safe to fly the UAS. Yeah, but my puppy. Good job finding this place. I lived here and I'd never been up there, and it was beautiful. It does seem to fit what we were looking for. Okay. All right. So one more thing. Let's go back to our scientific hypothesis. I would like you guys to do another revision on your hypothesis. And in the classroom, let's go to stream. In the classroom, I have 3 links on how to develop a hypothesis. So I'm going to put you guys back into your breakout rooms. I'll put, do rooms of 3 this time. Each person is going to be in charge of reading one of these articles, and then I want you guys to discuss, because last time I had you guys choose a hypothesis, and the hypothesis you chose was Daniel's. If a thermal camera is used to detect heat signatures of the homeless population living near or in high-risk fire areas, then we'll be able to easily locate and potentially rescue them quickly if anything were to occur. I want you guys to read that over. I want you to read the articles on how to create a hypothesis, and then I want you to reassess the hypothesis you chose from Daniel, and I want you to revise it to meet the criteria that the articles put out. One thing I'll just say about this, that we will be able to easily locate and potentially rescue them. Are we going to be doing any rescuing?
No, we'll be informing like the fire department or something.
Yes, right. So just make that clear in your hypothesis that it's not us that's going to be doing the rescuing. We're going to provide that information to the fire department. Okay? So I'm going to put you back into breakout rooms. In your breakout rooms, each person is going to read one article. Okay? And then you guys are going to discuss together, and you're going to revise that hypothesis to make it meet that criteria. Okay? All right, so breakout rooms. All right, everyone go back to your room. Yeah. Okay, go to your room now and decide who's going to read which article, and then everyone revise the hypothesis. On your mark, get set, go. Okay. So Carlo, Carmela, Matthew, Rita, go to your room. Talene, Vahe, go to your room.
Miss Evans, you have, I haven't received a link for the breakout room, or like an invite.
Okay. Let's see. You should actually, because you are invited to room 4.
I still haven't received anything yet.
Are you sure? Can you scroll? Click on the box and scroll around. Maybe scroll down or up.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I saw.
Got it. Okay.